He's doing it.
Good evening. Should like to call this Fairfield City Council Housing Authority meeting to order, please. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Pam Bertani.
Here.
Councilmember Moy. Here. Councilmember Vaccaro.
Here.
Vice Mayor Tim.
Here.
And Mayor Price.
This evening will be led by Pastor Sweetie Tagata from the Flaming Word Ministries. Pastor, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let us pray. Father, we love you. We thank you, God, for our coming together tonight. Lord, we ask your blessings, Lord, upon this meeting. We ask, God, that you will continue to bless our council members, Lord. Give them the guidance, the wisdom, and the knowledge to continue, Lord, to lead this city and this great people, Lord, in this community. Lord, we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Council reports. Oh, we'll take Pledge of Allegiance first, and then we'll go to council reports. Mr.
Please join me in saluting our nation's flag.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And council reports, we'll start with the Vice Mayor, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Just real briefly, we all attended the services for Mrs. Price this past weekend. And what I wanted to say was, number one, the service was beautiful. But number two, and more importantly, I think there were so many people there. The outpouring of love for Mayor Price's wife was evident, but also the support for our mayor. It was touching. And I asked the mayor, I said, can I say something? Because obviously we don't want to, you know what we don't want to do. But anyway, I just wanted to say how touched my wife was and myself, and I think everybody that was there. And I would just like to remember Betsy the way that we've always known Betsy, and the mayor the way that we know the mayor, and I welcome him back. And I also would tell the mayor is you take as much time as you need. You know what he says? He says, no, we have work to do, and he can do both things. So again, Mayor, from myself and my family, I just wanted to say it was beautiful. We are very sorry for your loss, and we look forward to the future. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and thank all of you. And my wife would have been very pleased with that service. It was wonderful. So thank all of you. And I know that I am blessed. Councilman White, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We call it Harry Strong for you to be here. And I know it's difficult. And as part of that, I want us to remember in the First Lady's name that this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Breast cancer mostly afflicts women, but it can afflict men. It doesn't discriminate much. Cancer doesn't. It has a way of getting you. So I want you, if you're a woman especially, to take care of your breasts, to check them. I know this might sound strange coming from the city council dais, but this is how I want to use my voice. Sisters, get your mammograms. If you don't have money, we'll find you a way. You call me, and I will get you to get one. Please do this. And teach your daughters young to take care of that, and teach yourself how to take care of your breasts yourself, and look for things, because sometimes people find it themselves. I just ask that you do that, and that we as sisters remind each other and our brothers who also do get breast cancer. And it was a beautiful service, and cancer is evil, and I dealt with it, as you know, and you have to fight it with everything you have, but let's catch it before it gets you. That's why we check ourselves, okay? I just wanted to say that I enjoyed the fundraiser this weekend for Fun on the Run, which is a wonderful program that takes activities and nutritional food now to neighborhoods where we have underserved or at-risk young people. And it was fun for us to be in downtown at the McNaughton Park doing this, but more importantly, to know that all of that money, every bit of it, was going to help our children. And I know when I ran Heather House, Fun on the Run came there, and our kids could not wait until Fun on the Run was there because they got to do something different. They got to be with other people, and it made them forget some of the things that they were going through during their homelessness. Even though they were with us, they still knew that this wasn't their permanent home. And that's something that's important. So I'm really, really was happy to be there. Yesterday, the city manager and also Ann, who's the head of our recreation and all, and I went to Juvenile Hall, and we met for 3 hours with the superintendent there. The reason for the meeting, I asked for it, was because I want to make sure, like my colleague, Mr. Vaccaro, who's an expert in this, that we are doing everything we can to help those young people who are inside juvenile hall and to try to help do something before they ever get there and understand how are these young people getting their hands on guns, doing the other things that they do. Where does it come from? And this is not just in Fairfield, but this is where we can do something about it. So I'm working on it. I really appreciate Ann being there and the city manager, because Ann does recreation, and she's really thinking deeply about how we can contact and help these children, these young people, before they get into trouble, before they have troubles. I mean, we all have troubles, but how do you rethink? And again, Rick is an expert on this. I'm trying to teach myself and educate myself so I can better help my little bosses, who are the little kids in town, and the young people. And then the last thing that I wanted to say is that I'm still getting a lot of calls about the Section 8 voucher program, and there's been fear, and I don't want fear with people who live here and people who work here. So I'm asking, Mr. Mayor, that on our next city council meeting that we agendize the Section 8 voucher program to put a final nail in that coffin for us to vote publicly on saying, no, this isn't what we're going to do, or maybe it is what we ultimately want to do, I don't know. But to do it, and do it publicly, get it over with, and make sure that our employees, some who went through the program themselves and raised themselves up, and now they are participating in making things better here, right here in this town, for people who are sick or don't have enough money. We need to help the poorest among us. And I think I am asking and I'm making a motion to put it on the next agenda. And I just need a second, or for the mayor to tell me that he'll just put it on the agenda.
Mr. City Manager, I think it might be a good idea. Okay? Thank you. Councilmember Tani, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for coming out this evening, everyone, and for watching from home. I'm getting over a really bad bug, so that's what's wrong with my voice. I haven't been talking too much this time. I've just been a little bit sick, but I'm better. Mr. Mayor, I just want to say that when I pass to the other side, I hope that my children can be half as gracious and loving and wonderful as your children were at the service for Betsy on Saturday. It's a real testament to the love that your family shares. They were mixed with anguish at missing mom, but joy with having her in your lives. And to me, there's no greater testament to a mother's love and a family's love than what I saw on Saturday. So I just want you to know that it was beautiful to see that. And we should all strive to have children who are that loving and fun and, authentic, a little goofy, just really awesome it was on Saturday. So I just wanted to share that with you from me and my family.
Thank you, and I'm quite certain Dylan and Tyler will take care of you too.
I hope so.
But
I hope
thank you
so.
very
Make
much.
sure they do if I'm not here.
I plan to be here.
Exactly.
Councilman Vaccaro, please, your report.
Can I just make one more quick announcement that on Saturday, October 13th, at Bethel Community Church, which is located at 600 East Tabor, Pastor Anthony Gilmore is the senior pastor, as most of you know. The T3, the think tank, will be having another VIP, a voter information platform. We'll be reviewing the absentee ballots that will be in your mailboxes on the 8th of October, on that Monday. So we'll be asking folks to bring their absentee ballots and their pamphlets, any questions they have about the voting process. Hopefully we'll have a candidate or two there to present if they would like, but we just want to provide this forum for the upcoming election because we're encouraging everyone to vote in November. It's imperative that we vote. That's my report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
And Anita Goodman, too. Thank you. Councilman Vaccaro, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before I read a statement that I felt I needed to read here tonight that pertains to the council meeting of September 18th. From the Vaccaro family, Mr. Mayor, you know how we feel. We've told you before and told you that day. Whatever you need from us, of course, we'll be there for you, and that's my children and my grandchildren, okay? And it was a beautiful ceremony, and looking at, the slides of Betsy, and you when you guys were, and you still look like you're as young as you did in those days, but that was but it was absolutely it was really a beautiful ceremony and a beautiful tribute. And just to piggyback on what Pam said, with your children just were unbelievable, and it was a really special day. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Well, thank you, Rick. And they're products of Fairfield Sassoon Unified, too.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, your report, please.
I'm
Yeah.
not. No. So I wanted, I normally don't talk about myself or allegations that have been made against me, but I walked out of the meeting on September 18th and I was probably more disturbed than I've ever been in the 10 years I've been on the council. So I'm going to read a brief statement that I wrote. Allegations were made by a member of the faith-based community and one of my colleagues on the council, directed toward myself and another council member. These allegations were an attack on our character and were unfounded. I answered those allegations 2 weeks ago, but I felt the need to make a statement tonight. I have always conducted myself in an honest fashion and have never done anything for political gain. I am frustrated, I'm disappointed, and frankly disgusted by the allegations made that night. I chose to serve on this council to work hard for the city that I love and the citizens from all walks of life who live here. I feel that I have earned the trust of many people throughout Fairfield, which was obvious during the 2016 election. I will continue to do what's right for our city in spite of the attacks that continue by these individuals. I can clearly state to you tonight that I have never done anything that would hurt our city or try to divide the people that live here. I have worked tirelessly over the years for our young people in this community who are struggling with many issues, including poverty, addiction, and abuse. This is why I am so disgusted with the remarks that were made that night. I am not asking for an explanation because I believe I know why it happened and it continues to happen. To be judged by people who do not know anything about me and what I believe in is extremely frustrating. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
And I appreciate you're making the record very crystal clear. Thank you. Mr. City Manager, your report, please.
Just one item to report. I just wanted to report on our fire department open house. It'll be next week, Thursday, October 11th, from 5 to 8 p.m. at Fire Station 37, and there are no changes to the agenda tonight.
Madam Clerk, your report, please.
Oh, I just wanted to thank David for coming to my Seroptimus Club today and speaking at lunchtime, and also to thank you, Mayor, for coming. And his lovely wife, Betsy, was one of my Seroptimus sisters, and he came at lunch today just to thank us for our love and support. So that meant a lot, and we're really going to miss her. Thank you.
Thank you. Turn now to the process for public comments. Madam Clerk, if you would, please.
Speakers may address items on this agenda at the time each item is considered. Under public comments, the public may speak on items not on the agenda but within the jurisdiction of the City Council, provided that no action may be taken on off-agenda items except as authorized by law. Off-agenda items from the public will be taken under consideration without discussion by the Council and may be referred to staff. Speakers are requested to limit their comments to 4 minutes total, with 1 minute to summarize the remarks. Thank you.
And our first speaker will be Emma Harris, to be followed by Alan Wagner, please.
Good evening, council members and Mayor Price. My name is Emma Harris, and I am an employee of the City of Fairfield in the Section 8 Housing Division. I am also an SEIU member, as well as a member to Mount Calvary Baptist Church under the leadership of Pastor Lee. You may remember me and some of my colleagues. I have a few of them here with me this evening from the last couple of council meetings. We have been here to speak to you about what we saw as a dismantling of the city Section 8 voucher program, which also meant laying off those of us who work for that program. But we are here this week to say thank you to David for, and the city for putting the process on hold for the foreseeable future. The city manager, David White, came to our work site last week and informed us that the city would not be pursuing the closure of the division at this time and will be focusing more on the difficult issues of the homelessness. Mr. White shared with us that the city commitment to finding alternative solution to the housing issue and have invited us to continue to share our clients' success stories and join him in the difficult conversations that need to happen as they relate to the housing in Section 8. While we are happy to hear the news, we will remain cautiously optimistic and hope that it is not just a delay due to the election season. We are more than just staff of the Section 8 program. Some of us are graduates of the program, and most of us are citizens of this city. And today we feel that we were heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Alan Wagner, please, to be followed by Ralph Niz.
Okay. First of all, let me say I'm sorry for the loss. I'm from Stockton, California. My name's Alan Wagner, and I'm the president of ATU Local 276. Let me just say I'm sorry for the loss that you've suffered. I want to talk about my experience with MV Transit, who runs the transit here. My first experience had to do with safety. Real quickly, I'm a mechanic. There was a bus with an air dryer that was malfunctioning, and this was when I was at a transit station, and their safety manager was there, and it was malfunctioning, which affects the safety of the bus stopping because there's liquid in the lines. To be brief about it, it was brought up by myself, another mechanic, and the driver, and we were told by their safety manager, it's none of your business, don't worry about it. That's my first experience with MV. We had 2 rounds of negotiations trying to reach a contract with MV, the first one in 2012. The next one in 2015, we never reached an agreement with them. Wages, we were offered 25 cents for some people, a nickel for some people. and the wages were extremely low to begin with. We had people living in their cars and living in the backyards of some of their coworkers. I'll say that when it came to medical, they wanted a family to pay $900 a month, and these are workers who were making $13 an hour, some 12, some 15. One of their negotiators said, medical, I don't care about medical. Tell them to go to the county hospital and let them take care of it. And that's what happened. They moved from California to Texas, and one of their managers, who was a nice guy, and he said, we're doing it so we don't have to pay taxes, in California. So they willfully take their money from whoever it may be, whether it be, Stockton's Transit, whoever's transit, but they have no problem taking that money and taking it out of state. And money that goes out of state is money that could be spent here and recycled 4 times, 5 times to the dollar. We've had negotiations where our union office was across the street, and on Fridays, and once with a mediator, we were waiting for an offer for them, a counter offer, and we're waiting and waiting, and it's like 5 in the afternoon. They had left 2 hours earlier to go home without telling us. These are the kind of people, these kind of things, this is not what, people who want to resolve things do. It's not people who care about, their workers. It's people don't do that. I just ask that, especially, trying to slough off their responsibility, at least in our situation, and have the taxpayers of the county pay for it by sending people to the hospital. And we only had 2 people who could pay for medical coverage for families, and people did go to the county hospital. So, it was a burden on the taxpayer paying for transit and for medical. So all I ask is that, you really look at this and hold their feet to the fire. Thank you.
Certainly will. Thank you, Mr. Wagner. Yeah, Mr. Vice Mayor?
Just real quick, do you know their contract status?
I absolutely do not know their contract status.
Mr. Wagner, the contract status now? Do you know?
Oh, my property is in Stockton. MD got kicked out. They lost the contract,
Okay.
so I can't address.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. City Manager, didn't we vote on something recently to allow for raises, an increase in pay? Did we not do that? I thought we did that for MV Transportation. Is that yes, or?
The answer is yes. So earlier this year, you adopted I think it was an amendment to their contract to allow them to offer higher salaries because they had a tough time holding on to drivers. I don't remember what those specific rates were, but I can pull that information for you. But there was an action taken by this council to allow them to hire a higher amount. And it was above minimum wage, I believe, as well. But I can get you the details.
Well, I hope to God it was above minimum wage. Who could live on minimum wage? I'll talk to you later about it. Thank you, Mr. City Manager.
We'll pursue it. Mr. Ralph Niz, please, to be followed by Gloria Burton.
Good evening, council members, and I have answers for all your questions. My name is Ralph Niz. I'm the president business agent of ATU Local 256. We represent the drivers here in Fairfield, along with drivers in Lodi, Elk Grove, Roseville, Transdev. We have 1,800 members. I'm here today supported by my officers. We also have presidents and officers of AC Transit in support, and also Stockton. They are in support, and we have drivers here to speak on the issues. I have prepared a package for all of you, and it's very clear. And we have been in negotiations for over a year now with MV Transportation. And I'll wait till you get your packages so you can open them up and they're very self-explanatory. If you open your package and look on the left-hand side, MV Transportation on 8/15/2018, their offer to our members, if you look on the second page, they offered for the first year 43 cents, 45 cents, and at the last year, $3.39. Now that huge jump, we're looking on the left-hand side, ma'am, on the left-hand side of your, yes, this one here, yes, okay. This one here on 8/15/2018, okay? And if you look at the bottom, as I said, they offered 43 cents, 45 cents, and $3.39. That huge jump at the end of the third year is because their option year is up. They don't know if they're going to be here. So, of course, they're going to offer a great deal of money when whoever takes over is going to have to honor that. So, if you go to the next page, where you see ATU counter on September 13, 2018, our offer to them was I flipped it. I said, give us the $3.39 the first year, 45 cents the second year, and 43 cents the last year, okay? So their best offer, if you flip the page, it says their offer on 9/13/2018, okay, on the very next page, right here on page 2 where it's yellowed out, their offer to us is what they had offered, they took it away. Everything you can see in yellow, it's flat across the board. 18, 19, you see what I'm saying? So that's called regressive bargaining. I filed an unfair labor practice and I was granted that by the National Labor Relations Board. So I'm here and I think it's extremely important that the City Council knows what's going on. Okay, yes, you did grant us, the members, a raise, okay, but this gentleman that's going to follow me will speak to that effect. Our union members, the employees, the people that drive your children, the elderly, the handicapped around the city are extremely important, and they haven't been recognized by MV Transportation. We understand that they're a private company and they have to make some profit. But if you look at this, okay, and go through this, and you can see how they're aggressive bargaining. If you look at the last page, I put together the plan on the Kaiser.
And sir, if you would conclude, please.
I'm sorry, sir?
You've got about 30 seconds to conclude,
Okay,
please.
real quick, Kaiser alone, our members pay $348.52 a month for Kaiser alone. For Kaiser with family, they pay $1,785.52 out of their pockets, averaging $19 an hour. So it's absolutely, I wanted the City Council to be aware of what's going on.
And
we've been in negotiations
We
over.
appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Don Collins, please.
I too have put together a folder for you. My name is Donald Collins. I'm a driver at Fairfield Suisun Transit, and I'm also a executive board member of the ATU 256. And when you get your folder, if you open the folder on the left side, the first page gives you the table for the wages that we would have received after the one-year contractual agreement we had with MV. The second page shows you what the raise was that we were given after you guys voted for the extra money. On the right side, you may recognize the agenda report of item number 6, dated June 6th of 2017. That's where you guys amended the contract. to give MV a $2.07 raise per revenue hour in order to give us the raise that they gave us. Now, on the last page, if you look at the table that I put together, the pink column is the column that we're currently on right now, our current wages. Next to that, to the right, is the difference in what we were getting to what your raise gave us. On page 2, paragraph 2 of your amendment, it said that you were given the $2.07 raise in order to give the $2.85 to raise for the minimum start pay to be changed from $12.15 to $15. And then, of course, the rest of it would go to the rest of the drivers to augment the difference. If you look at the table, under the start, followed across, it shows that they only put $2.71 instead of the $2.85, which leads me to believe that what they did was the 1% contractual raise was taken out of the money that you guys had given them for the extra and augmented and set that in. Then also, if you take all of those figures, those differences, it comes out to $12.44. Divided by the 9 positions we have training through 6 year, it comes out to $1.38. You guys gave them $2.07 per hour. They're only giving us $1.38 per hour. That leaves 67 cents, or 69 cents, excuse me, that they are keeping to do whatever it is they're doing with it. And if you take that, according to your contract, averaging out with the 92,000 revenue hours a year, that comes out to $63,480. We don't know where that $63,480 is at. I thought the money that you had given, the $2.07, was supposed to be to augment our wages, not for them to make extra money on.
And if you would conclude, please.
Okay. My conclusion is MV has been negotiating and keeping the wages down. They finally came to you and said, we need more money to augment those wages. Now they're back to it again because they're not coming up with any money. They're saying they don't have any money to give us. All we're asking for is to be able to take care of our families and stuff. And that's what I'd like to bring up to you. And hopefully you can look at this and help us out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And our next speaker will be Gloria Burton, please, to be followed by Rachel Izu.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. My condolences on your loss. My name is Gloria Burton. I'm shop steward, ATU 256. I work here in Fairfield. I'm going to talk more about the character of the drivers. Most of the drivers you'll never see at a council member meeting because they can't attend. The normal operator works 12 to 13 hours a day, only making 7.5 or 8 hours a day pay. Also, I've been in negotiations for all of them except for the 2002 when they first became a union here. And this is the worst negotiation that I've ever taken part of. It's horrible. We had 3 meetings, and one was canceled that they didn't even let us know that they weren't going to show up. They just didn't bother. So out of over a year, we've had, I think it's 3 meetings, three negotiations. Also, what they didn't mention is that they want to change the scope of the agreement. It usually starts December of the end of the year. They wanted to start July, 7 months. So we asked, well, what are the drivers going to get? Are we going to get any wages, increases, cost of living? we get nothing. They said nothing. We get nothing. So we work for nothing for 7 months. That's the way that they want it to be. The scope of the agreement is always, like I just said, the end of the month, end of the year, December. And they are trying to change it to July, which I don't think that they can. The cost of living, they will not give us a raise in cost of living. They want to give the drivers who have 6 years or more, they can have a $500 increase. But anyone that has 6 years or less won't receive anything. Also, I wanted to just mention something about uniforms that I've been fighting for a long time, never seem to get anywhere. And that's during the summer. If city council members can just look at Bermuda shorts for us drivers, because it gets awfully warm up here. It's very uncomfortable when you're wearing cotton pants and, cotton shirts, and, it's very uncomfortable, so if you could just look at that for us, I would greatly appreciate it, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. And our final speaker will be Rachel Isyu, please. Rachel?
Good evening. I'm a fairly new resident of Fairfield, and my concern is twofold. First, it involves the monitoring of speed limits and stop sign regulation, I guess. I don't know. In my neighborhood, I live in Goldridge on Chuck Hammond. I'm on the corner of Chuck Hammond and Hom. My son was actually hit Saturday by a car. He's fine. I should have reported it. I didn't. In retrospect, I realized I should have done that. The driver was being a responsible driver, and I think that's why he was fine. But I have personally seen cars fly past my home. As I'm standing there, I have 5 children. If I had lived in my home for a couple weeks before I bought it, I would not have bought it. I bought it because I thought it was in the middle of a neighborhood and it would have been fine. But really, that road is often used, I think, more as a thoroughfare than a neighborhood street. And it is rare that cars are going 25 miles an hour down the road, and rare that they're stopping at the stop sign. Also, my husband's car is parked on the street, and there are times where it has almost been hit as well because they come around the corner so quickly. That corner, there's not a stop sign coming from that direction, but it is a concern for the safety of my family and all of the children and individuals in the neighborhood. And so I don't know. I mean, I'm grateful that my son was fine. If it had been a car that generally comes flying around the neighborhood, I'm not sure he would be here today, and he certainly would have been in the hospital. And then I guess secondly, just how do we go about, and maybe there already is in the future planning. Like I said, I'm really a new resident here, so I don't know a whole lot about things that have happened in the city and concerns already here. But really having a safe place for our kids to bike, be on their longboards, go for walks as a family, some sort of bike path. Anyway, those are my 2 concerns. So, thank you.
And again, thank you for bringing it to our attention. I'm certain the city manager will follow up with the police department.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Don't move away, though. Stay with us for a while. Give us a chance to correct the problem. We turn now, Madam Clerk, if you would, please.
I have 2 more speakers cards.
Oh, 2 more cards? Okay.
They were just given to me.
Dennis Daniels, please, to be followed by Mr. Parker, please.
Is it Dennis Daniels?
Yes. Hi. Thank you for letting me come up here and speak. I'm a driver here in Fairfield. I've been driving here for about 12 years now. I just want to make a note, what they were saying about MV. Every negotiation that we go to is always an issue. We out here taking good care of the people out here, the passengers, everything. Maybe even y'all family members might get on the bus that we take good care of. And if in order them to, you know what I'm saying, to treat us like this is very unfair. You know what I mean? The rent, everything is sky high out here. We can't live. And all thing I'm asking is if you guys can look into it and make them, you know what I'm saying, give us some more money. We need this so we can live, take care of our families. You know, I don't want to be homeless. You know, I'm just saying, I work hard. I work anywhere between 100 to 110 hours every 2 weeks just to get a decent paycheck. I don't even have time to spend with my family because I'm working too hard. And I don't even get compensated for it. But thank you for your time.
Thank you. Lolita Parker, please.
Lolita Parker, I would like to concur what Dennis Daniels has said about us and spending time with our families, and that we all work very much overtime every day to make a living driving these buses. And I have says that people have seen me early morning and late at night and still say, "You're driving still," and see me on Saturdays. And I do it all with a smile. I would like to be able to have money to take care of my 4 kids. I have one son that is 10 years old, and he has behavioral issue problems because I am unable to attend most of his classes, his homework, his reading is under grade level, his academics is very low. I'm told that he might need some type of counseling, but all I can say is that I can't afford the counseling, that because of I cannot take him to the council's office. I have a lot of issues with the councils, the teachers, and just being a public bus driver is very stressful, and going home with the stress and coming back to work with stress and being able to smile in people's face and take people cutting you off and people flipping you off and everything else, and to know that you do not have enough money in your paycheck to pay 3 or 4 bills when you're working so hard to do that, and to know that the company is saying that they don't have enough money to pay you, but they want you to work harder and be smarter and provide the utmost outstanding driving that we do without a problem. It just makes me feel like, what am I doing it for? And I love to drive. I've been driving since 2006 for this company, and 2000 period, just total. I have a DOT. I'm a professional driver, and that's what I would like to do. I do not want to change my profession because I feel like the company can't afford me. I love going to work at MV, but I don't like how they treat us at MV. Thank you for your time. My honors to everybody that rides the bus, and I appreciate you guys when you do get on.
And our final speaker will be Mr. Stacy Johnson, please.
Good evening, Councilman and Mayor Harry Price. Yes, I was here before on your council meeting regarding the housing and recent rent increases in Fairfield. And I was trying to find out, I actually left Mr. David White a message. I'm trying to find out who do we need to speak with because I do I have a parent that's under the Fairfield Housing HUD Act. And I've been noticing the past couple years that a bunch of apartments that normally would accept housing is not accepting housing anymore. And with the recent rent increases, it's hard for most of the people that's on housing. Some of them was here. I know Miss Angelica, Miss Emma that spoke earlier. But some of them here were, they basically not able to find places to stay here in Fairfield. And I feel like as the council people that, I don't know if it's you guys should work closer with the landlords or the new owners about this redevelopment project that they have going on in Fairfield. As we can see all over Fairfield, a bunch of apartments are being redeveloped, and they're being redeveloped to the point where the citizens here cannot afford to stay here. And what I feel like is it's pushing the citizens in Fairfield out and bringing the citizens that's in San Francisco that's paying 3 times the amount of rent that we're paying down here, and it's pushing us closer to Sacramento. So I was wondering, if is there anything the council on women and men can do regarding, speaking with the owners. I feel like if they want to have a business in your guys' city, that they should work with the low income, the disabled people that's in this town. I know here coming up pretty soon that, they're going to be voting on Prop 10, which I advise everybody to vote yes on Prop 10, which is rent control, and also the Assembly Bill 199, which has to do with redevelopment that's going on all over the state of California. And I just feel like it's an important issue. I'm here tonight with walking pneumonia. That's how that's how much I feel like that the citizens, should be aware of, and the councilman of what's going on here in Fairfield. So that's all I'd like to say, and I would, hope that someone can either give me a card to see who I can talk to as far as the city councils that deal with landlords and owners around the city of Fairfield.
I think the city manager would like to respond to you. David, if you would, please.
Sir, thank you very much for coming out and speaking tonight. So a couple of things. So one is Kevin Snyder, sitting right there nodding his head, is who you should connect with. He actually is responsible for the department that Angelica and Emma are in, and he's responsible for oversight of the Section 8 program.
Mm-hmm.
So no more than, I would say, about a month ago, he was in my office speaking with me about needing to look at our Section 8 program and the opportunity of increasing the rents that we can allow under that program.
Yes, sir.
So he's someone who you should talk to about that, because there's pluses and minuses with it, but I think he should really speak with you about the opportunity. Number 2 is through our Section 8 program, we do offer something called tenant-based rental assistance. So we do offer a program for individuals to pay utility bills as well as to pay rent for a period of time. And we are also looking at augmenting that program with other grant-funded programs. One of the challenges that we face that you've rightfully pointed out to us tonight is that we cannot force a landowner to accept a Section 8 voucher. It's just something that is frustrating to us, but that's the way the program is currently written. What I can tell you is, on the opposite of that, is I know that through our Section 8 program, we have held positive landlord outreach workshops to try to explain to them what the program is, the virtues of the program, and the benefits of the program. And the reason we do that is because there is a lot of benefits that can accrue to a landowner in accepting, or a property owner in accepting Section 8 vouchers. So I want Kevin and Angelica, if she's here, to explain that to you so you can understand the outreach we are doing.
Yes, sir.
The last item that we do have on the agenda tonight is an item for coordinated entry. The reason why that's important to this discussion is one of the components of the program that we're hoping that council will support this evening is a landlord incentive program whereby we will offer to landlords opportunities to incentivize them through financially to accept people who are homeless into their projects. So we're also working in that regard as well. So your comments are not falling on deaf ears. There's a lot that we're trying to do to address it, but please, you have Kevin and Angelica here, and please speak with them. So if we can do more or do better, we would like to work with you in that.
Yeah, and one last thing, Mr. White, I would like to say, it's not just basically housing or people that's on HUD. I feel like that a lot of apartments are what they call price gouging. I know the Department of HUD set a standard for the amount of payment standard they will allow, but also Fair Housing and Employment sets a standard for each city on how much the general rent should run in that area. And Fairfield, as I was told, is paying 3 times the amount of the rent as far as HUD. But some of these owners are charging, 3 times the amount over that amount. So I was just wondering, is there something we as citizens can do, not only the people that's on HUD, but just regular citizens? A lot of them can't afford $2,000 a month for, a 2-bedroom. They'll go to Sacramento and pay half that amount and get a house. So I just want to know if there's other people, that I can talk to, and you pointed out, maybe he can point me in the right direction also with that situation. All right. Well, thank you, ladies and
Thank you,
gentlemen.
sir, and take care of your health.
All right. Thank you, sir.
should like now to convene the joint meeting of Fairfield City Council Housing Authority. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bertani.
Here.
Commissioner Moy. Commissioner Vaccaro. Vice Chairman Tim.
Here.
And Chairman Price.
Here.
And then I'm to
Chairman,
read.
I do need to make the note quickly that each member of the council does entitled to additional compensation of $35 for attending this joint meeting.
I was just about to read that, Greg. Okay. Joint City Council and Housing Authority new business, item 1, resolution HA 2018-14 of the Fairfield Housing Authority approving the use of funds from the Low and Moderate Income Housing Asset Fund for the Memorandum of Understanding between the Community Action Partnership of Solano Joint Powers Authority, Solano County, and the cities of Benicia, Dixon, Fairfield, Rio Vista, Suisun City, Vacaville, and Vallejo regarding the coordinated entry system, and Resolution 2018-227 of the City Council of the City of Fairfield approving Memorandum of Understanding between the Community Action Partnership of Solano Joint Powers Authority, Solano County, and the cities of Benicia, Dixon, Fairfield, Rio Vista, Suisun City, Vacaville, and Vallejo regarding the coordinated entry system. And our presenter is David White, City Manager.
City Manager.
Thank you. So this item, City Council asked this to be continued to this evening's agenda. What I can report is since the item's been continued, 2 additional entities have adopted this MOU. Solano County adopted the MOU earlier this morning at their meeting, and the City of Suisun City adopted this MOU at their City Council meeting last week. We had conversations with the city managers and county administrators last week, so everyone is still on track and moving this forward. Vacaville should be going at their next council meeting. I've been working with the City of Rio Vista as well, and I do not have an update for the City of Dixon as of yet. So I'm here to take any questions you have in follow-up to the council meeting 2 weeks ago.
Comments or questions? Seeing none, entertain a motion then to approve Resolution 2008, Housing Authority 2018-14 and 2018-227. Moved by Councilman Vaccaro, seconded by the Vice Mayor. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. We'll reconvene the meeting of the City Council on the consent calendar. Madam Clerk, if you would, please.
All matters listed on the consent calendar are to be approved with one motion unless a member of the council or the public requests that separate action be taken on a specific item.
I don't have any requests to speak cards, colleagues, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar as submitted. It's been moved by Councilwoman Moy, seconded by Councilwoman Bertani. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Public hearings, we have 3. Madam Clerk, if you would, please. Item number 5.
Tax Equity and Fiscal Responsibility Act, TEFRA, public hearing and resolution 2018-246 of the City Council of the City of Fairfield approving the issuance of the California Municipal Finance Authority revenue bonds in a maximum aggregate issue price of $100 million for the purpose of financing the acquisition, construction, and equipping of Paradise Valley Estates and certain other matters relating thereto.
And our presenter, Paul Nguyen. Paul?
Hi, good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you so much. Paul Nguyen with the Economic Development Team. Excited to be here tonight before you. Before you is a request from the California Municipal Finance Authority to conduct a public hearing and adopt a resolution pursuant to the Federal Tax Equity and Fiscal Responsibility Act, known as TEFRA. TEFRA requires a public hearing be held by the governing body of a jurisdiction in which a project to be financed with the tax-exempt financing is located, and that the governing body also approve the proposed financing. In this case, the Northern California Retired Officers Community, owners of Paradise Valley Estates, seeks to obtain tax-exempt financing from the California Municipal Finance Authority in an amount not to exceed $100 million. These funds will be used to finance the construction, improvement, and furnishing of an expansion project. This project was approved by the Planning Commission in 2017 and includes the addition of 70 new independent living villages and villas and cottages, and a new environmental center, woodworking shop, a full dining service venue, art gallery, and other on-site amenities. A notice announcing tonight as the time and place for a public hearing on this matter was published in the Daily Republic on September 17th. The debt will be issued by the California Municipal Finance Authority, a joint powers authority formed to assist local governments, nonprofits, and businesses with the issuance of both taxable and tax-exempt debt. It's important to note that this debt is the sole responsibility of the borrower. The City of Fairfield will have no financial, legal obligations or responsibilities with regard to repayment of the debt. Following the public hearing, staff recommends that Council adopt the resolution approving the issuance of the bonds by the Finance Authority. This adoption is solely for the purposes of satisfying the requirements of TEFRA, the Federal Tax Code, and the California Government Code, Section 6500. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm also happy to announce that Mr. Travis Cooper from the Finance Authority is here, as well as Mr. Kevin Burke, CEO of the Paradise Valley Estates, is also here tonight to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Any comments or questions, colleagues? No? I will open the public hearing. I don't have any request to speak cards. Anyone choosing to speak on this item should do so now. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back for council action. Is there a motion to approve? It's been moved by Councilman Moy, seconded by Councilmember Vaccaro. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Thank you, Paul. We turn then to item number 6, please.
Item 6, public hearing and resolution 2018-247 of the City Council of the City of Fairfield annexing of territory, the FedEx parking lot, to a community facilities district, authorizing the levy of a special tax and submitting levy of tax to qualified electors, City of Fairfield Community Facilities District Number 2012-2, Public Safety Services, Open Space Operation and Park Maintenance, Annexation Number 35, and Resolution 2018-246 of the City Council of the City of Fairfield declaring results of a special annexation election, determining validity of prior proceedings, and directing recording of amended notice of special tax lien, City of Fairfield Community Facilities District Number 2012-2, Public Safety Services, Open Space Operation and Park Maintenance, Annexation Number 35, the FedEx parking lot. And our presenter is Tom Martian of Public Works.
Tom?
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. Tom Martian and Public Works Manager. Anyway, tonight in front of you is the final process of a development known as the FedEx property. The properties consist of approximately about 2.94 acres and construction of 93,000 square feet parking lot. It's annexing into CFD 2012-2, which is funds ongoing public safety, open space maintenance, as well as park maintenance. By adopting the resolutions after the public hearing, we'll complete the process and the development requirements of going ahead and completing the project. That concludes my presentation.
Comments, questions, colleagues? Seeing none, I will open the public hearing. Don't have any request to speak cards. Anyone choosing to speak on these two items should do so now. Seeing none, we'll bring it back for council action.
First action will be to adopt Resolution 2018-247, then we'll have the vote.
Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second, please? Seconded by Councilman Bertani. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much.
City Clerk now will tally the vote.
One more envelope. It's a yes vote in favor of annexation.
So the next item would be adoption of resolution number 2018-248.
Been moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Councilman Moy. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay.
I'm sorry, Vice Mayor was the first, and who made the second?
Councilman Moy.
Moy, thank you. Okay, item 7, public hearing and resolution 2018-249 of the City Council of the City of Fairfield annexing of territory, Strawberry Fields, to a community facilities district, authorizing the levy of a special tax and submitting levy of tax to qualified electors, City of Fairfield Community Facilities District Number 2012-2, Public Safety Services, Open Space Operation and Park Maintenance, Annexation Number 36, and Resolution 2018-250 of the City Council of the City of Fairfield declaring results of a special annexation election, determining validity of prior proceedings, and directing recording of amended notice of special tax lien, City of Fairfield, Community Facilities District Number 2012-2, Public Safety Services, Open Space Operation and Park Maintenance, Annexation Number 36, Strawberry Fields. And again, the presenter is Tom Martian.
There again, Tom Martian, Department of Public Works. In front of you tonight is the last process of the annexation of the development known as Strawberry Fields. It's located near the intersection of Walters Road and East Tabor. Consists of about 39 lots. They're annexing into the CFD 2012-2, which continuously funds public safety, open space maintenance, and also park maintenance. By conducting the public hearing tonight, we'll be able to determine the adoption of the resolutions, complete the process. That concludes my presentation.
Any comments or questions for Tom? We'll open the public hearing. Again, have no request to speak cards. Anyone choosing to speak on these two items should do so now. Seeing no one, close the public hearing, bring it back for council action. Is there a motion to approve? It's been moved by Councilman Bertani, seconded by Councilman Vaccaro. All in favor? This is for both motions.
No, this would just be for the first one
just for the
only,
first
be
one.
2018-249.
Okay. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried unanimously. Then we go to resolution.
Would go to the election next, which would be tallied
Okay.
by the city
I'll
clerk.
open the ballot. And it's another yes vote in favor of annexation, or four annexation votes, yes.
And the next item would be a motion to approve Resolution 2018-250.
I will open the public hearing. Again, have no request to speak cards. Anyone choosing to speak on this item should do so now. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back for council action. Is there a motion to approve? It's been moved by Councilman Moy, seconded by the Councilman Vaccaro. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries unanimously. There is no other business before this body. We are adjourned until October 16th. Thank you very much. Good night.
Oh, that's good.